In the quiet suburb of Maplewood, Ohio, where summer days stretched long and lazy under the sun, 10-year-old Ethan Carter stared through the hospital window at his best friend Lily Thompson, her small frame swallowed by the white sheets and beeping machines. Her laughter, once as bright as the fireworks they watched every 4th of July, had faded to whispers, stolen by a rare illness that doctors called leukemia. Ethan's heart twisted like a knot in his chest as he pressed his palm against the glass, wishing he could trade places with her, trade his endless energy for her fragile smile. Little did he know, this moment of helpless longing would spark a chain of kindness that would ripple through their town, proving that even the smallest hands could hold the power to heal. Ethan and Lily had been inseparable since kindergarten, 2 peas in a pod as their moms liked to say. They built forts in the backyard, raced bikes down Elm Street, and shared secrets under the old oak tree in the park. Lily with her curly brown hair and freckles that danced when she grinned, always the one to find adventure in the ordinary. Ethan, sturdy and thoughtful with his messy blonde mop, was her loyal sidekick, the one who made sure no one ever picked on her. But now, as summer break began, Lily's world shrank to hospital rooms and treatments that left her too tired to play. Her parents, hard-working folks, her dad a mechanic, her mom a teacher, faced mounting medical bills that threatened to drown them. Insurance covered some, but the experimental therapy the doctors recommended, the one that could give Lily a fighting chance, cost more than they could ever scrape together. Ethan overheard the worried conversations at home, his own parents whispering about fundraisers and community drives. It hit him like a punch to the gut one evening when he visited Lily. She looked up from her bed, her eyes dull but trying to sparkle. "I miss our lemonade stands," she said softly. "Remember how we'd pretend it was magic potion that made everyone happy?" Ethan nodded, forcing a smile, but inside, an idea flickered to life. If magic potions could make people happy, maybe a real lemonade stand could make miracles. He decided right then, in the sterile glow of the hospital lights, to turn their childhood game into something real, something that could help pay for Lily's treatment. The next morning, Ethan raided the garage for supplies. He dragged out an old card table, painted a sign with bold red letters, "Fresh lemonade for Lily," and squeezed lemons until his hands ached. His mom helped mix the sugar, her eyes misty as she hugged him tight. "You're a good kid, Ethan," she murmured. But deep down, she worried if a boy's simple stand could make a dent in such a big problem. Ethan set up on the corner of their street, the sun beating down hot and relentless. Cars zoomed by, neighbors waved but didn't stop. By noon, he'd sold only 3 cups, earning a whopping $1.50. Doubt crept in like storm clouds. What if this was stupid? What if he failed Lily? As the afternoon wore on, challenges piled up. A sudden rain shower turned the dirt into mud, soaking his sign and turning the lemonade watery. Ethan huddled under an umbrella his dad rushed out with, wiping rain from his face, his spirit soggy. Why bother? He thought, tears mixing with the droplets. But then, old Mr. Jenkins from down the block shuffled over, his cane tapping the wet pavement. He was a grumpy widower, rarely seen smiling since his wife passed. "Heard about your friend, kid," he grumbled, dropping a $5 bill into the jar without taking a cup. "Keep the change. It's not much, but every drop counts." Ethan's eyes widened. It was the first spark of hope, a reminder that kindness could appear in the unlikeliest places. Word spread slowly at first, like whispers in the wind. Ethan's classmates from school stopped by on their bikes, pooling their allowance money. One girl, Sarah, whose family had moved from Texas last year, brought homemade cookies to sell alongside the lemonade. "My grandma always said sweetness multiplies when shared," she explained with a shy grin. Ethan felt a warmth in his chest, not from the sun returning, but from seeing how one act could inspire another. Yet, the jar filled too slowly. Days turned into a week, and they'd raised only $100. Lily's condition worsened. She missed a treatment because her parents couldn't afford the copay. Ethan visited her again, hiding his worry behind jokes. "We're gonna get you that magic treatment," he promised, squeezing her hand. But alone at night, he cried into his pillow, fearing it was all for nothing. Then came the emotional twist that changed everything. One sweltering afternoon, a sleek black car pulled up to the stand. Out stepped a tall man in a suit, looking out of place amid the suburban simplicity. He was Mr. Harlan, a local businessman who'd made his fortune in tech, but rumor had it he was as cold as his office. Building downtown. Ethan straightened, nervous. "What can I get you, sir?" The man studied the sign, then Ethan's earnest face. "Tell me about Lily," he said quietly. Ethan poured out the story, his voice cracking as he described her laugh, her dreams of becoming a veterinarian, how the illness stole her spark. Mr. Harlan listened, his stern expression softening. He pulled out his wallet, but instead of cash, he handed Ethan a business card. "Come to my office tomorrow with your parents. We'll talk." Ethan's heart raced. Was this a trick? A pity gesture? But the next day, in the gleaming high-rise, Mr. Harlan revealed his own secret pain. "My daughter had the same illness years ago," he confessed, his voice thick. "We almost lost her, but a community rallied for us. I never forgot that." He pledged to match every dollar Ethan raised, and more. He organized a company-wide donation drive. Word exploded across social media, shared by employees, friends, even strangers touched by the tale of a boy's unwavering friendship. The lemonade stand transformed into a community hub. Neighbors brought pictures of their own recipes, kids from rival schools set up satellite stands, and a local news crew filmed a segment that aired on the evening broadcast. Challenges persisted, jealousy flared when some kids accused Ethan of seeking attention, and a windy day toppled the stand, spilling precious lemonade. But each setback birthed more compassion. The jealous kids apologized, joining in to rebuild stronger. Ethan's dad, usually quiet and reserved, spent evenings helping, sharing stories of his own childhood struggles to remind Ethan that perseverance paid off. Lily's mom visited the stand, tears streaming as she hugged Ethan. "You've given us hope when we had none," she whispered. The funds climbed, 500, 1,000, then beyond. Unexpected kindness poured in, an anonymous envelope with a check from a faraway relative, a bake sale organized by the church ladies, even a celebrity retweet that boosted donations online. As the summer peaked, the total hit the goal for Lily's therapy. The day they presented the check to her family at the hospital was pure magic. Lily, propped up in bed with a bit more color in her cheeks, beamed as Ethan placed a glass of lemonade beside her. "To magic potions and best friends," he toasted. She clinked her cup weakly against his. "To you, Ethan. You're the real hero." The room filled with applause from doctors, nurses, and gathered loved ones, a testament to how one child's heart could ignite a town's soul. In the end, Lily's treatment worked wonders. She grew stronger, her laughter returning like spring after a harsh winter. Ethan learned that kindness wasn't about grand gestures but the quiet persistence of caring, even when the world seemed indifferent. Their bond deepened, forged in trial and triumph, a reminder that true friends weather any storm. This story of Ethan and Lily shows us the extraordinary power hidden in ordinary acts of compassion. In a world that can feel overwhelming, remember that a single spark of kindness can light up the darkest paths. If this tale touched your heart, give it a like, subscribe to Pure Kindness Stories for more uplifting narratives, and share it with someone who needs a reminder of hope today. Together, we can spread the warmth that changes lives.